I reckon I should have spotted the signs earlier, but who knows. My wife, Diane, had been hanging out with her buddy Monica way more than usual lately. That bugged me, if I'm honest. Monica was this divorced gal who lived life like she was starring in some wild reality show. To me, it felt like she swapped boyfriends faster than I could change the oil in my truck, didn't even bother keeping track, since it wasn't my business anyway. Truth is, I couldn't stand her. Still, I never stepped in to mess up her friendship with Diane. Looking back now, I'm wondering if letting that slide was a dumb move on my part. Hard to say. All I'm sure of is that Monica played a big role in talking my wife into stomping all over my heart. Diane and I had been hitched for 17 solid years. We'd raised a daughter, Nicole, who's 15 now, and a son, Owen, a couple years younger at 13. Life for us was pretty much your typical suburban setup, I'd say. Diane had a job at a doctor's office, while I was doing all right for myself selling computer software. We owned a comfy house, drove a pair of decent cars, and had what I thought was a damn good family life, or so I figured. The first hint I got that Diane didn't see our little world as rosy as I did hit me one Friday night when I walked in the door. There they were, her and Monica, parked at the kitchen table. Monica had that smug grin plastered on her face, same as always, but Diane? She looked kinda nervous, like something was eating at her. You didn't need to be a rocket scientist to smell trouble brewing. "Hey, sweetheart," Diane said, popping up to plant a kiss on me. "Hey, babe," I shot back, dropping my briefcase and pulling her in for a quick hug. After our lips met, I flicked my eyes toward Monica and tossed out a flat, "Hey. Gonna head upstairs and swap out of this suit," I said, bending down to grab my attaché case. "Sure thing, hon, want me to pour you some coffee?" "Monica and I have something we need to chat with you about once you're back," she replied, stumbling a little over her words like she was fishing for the right ones. "What's that?" I asked, thinking we might as well get it over with right then and there. "How about you go get comfy first, sweetie? I'll fix your coffee, and we'll sit down and talk when you're back, all right?" she suggested. I locked eyes with her, trying to read what was up. She was jittery, no doubt about it. A little shiver of dread crept up my spine as I caught Monica smirking out of the corner of my eye. Whatever those two were scheming, I had a bad feeling it was gonna leave a sour taste in my mouth. My mind started racing as I trudged up the stairs, step by step. I cooked up a dozen wild guesses about what I'd be walking into when I came back down. Thing is, none of them came close to the bombshell that actually dropped. It didn't take me long, maybe 5 minutes, to ditch the suit and tie for some laid-back slacks and a polo shirt. When I strolled back into the kitchen, my coffee was waiting for me, steaming in front of my usual spot. Monica was yammering on about something, almost like she was giving Diane a pep talk, but her voice was hushed, and I couldn't catch the words. They didn't even clock me standing there, till I was right across the table from M. I plopped down, took a swig of coffee, and stared them both down. "All right, spill it. What's this all about?" Diane clammed up for a sec, like she couldn't find her voice, till Monica nudged her with a, "Go on, tell him. He loves you, he'll get it." Diane dropped her gaze, avoiding mine like it hurt to look at me. "Babe, you know I love you to death, so don't take this the wrong way, okay? I wanna go out with Monica on a few dates every now and then. Not all the time, just sometimes," she blurted out quick. I wasn't sure I heard her right, dates. Whatever she was getting at, my gut was screaming no, but I couldn't wrap my head around her meaning she'd mess around with other guys. I had to double-check. "Hold up, what do you mean by dates? Are you saying you want to get cozy with other men?" Monica jumped in quick. "Hold up, William, this doesn't mean she's stopped loving you," she said, cutting into the silence. I was about to snap and tell her I wasn't talking to her, just my wife, but I held my tongue. Deep down, I knew this wasn't Diane's brainchild, Monica's fingerprints were smeared all over it. Still, I wanted to hear more, to puzzle out how in the world she'd roped Diane into this mess. She kept going, barely pausing for breath. It's just about getting close with someone, nothing serious. Diane and I were chatting, and she let slip that, aside from you, she's only ever been with one other guy her whole life. Come on, William, that's crazy. I'd bet my last dollar you've been with way more women than that. She deserves a chance to let loose and have some fun. I swung my gaze back to Diane. So, being close with me ain't fun anymore? I asked, my voice steady despite the ache starting to claw at my chest. Diane finally lifted her eyes to meet mine. I tried to hide how much this was tearing me up, but I'm pretty sure my poker face was failing hard. That's not what I meant, she said softly. Monica cut in again before Diane could say more. Look, guys do stuff differently, that's all, it's just about mixing things up a bit. Plenty of fellas out there love their wives enough to let them go have a good time now and then. It's not a big deal, William, just some physical fun. Heck, Diane and I even figured it'd be fair if you wanted to step out a little yourself. I turned back to Diane, searching her face. Was that fear flickering in her eyes, or maybe regret? I got the sense she was starting to realize this whole thing might have been a terrible idea. Got it, I said, keeping my tone flat as a pancake. Tears were prickling behind my eyes, but I'd be damned if I let him fall. Monica, mind hanging around a bit? I want to hash this out more when I get back, I said, pushing up from my chair. Sure thing, she replied, a smug little gleam in her eye. I could tell she thought she'd won me over. Where you headed? Diane piped up, her voice breaking through again. I'll be back soon, I said, dodging her question as I headed out of the room. I made a beeline for my home office and shut the door behind me. Ever since I was a kid, I've been the type to tackle life straight on, no messing around. Don't get me wrong, I can kick back and have a blast with the best of them, crack jokes, and enjoy a cold one. But when it's time to get serious, I don't dance around the issue, I face it square. Sitting there, I wrestled with more tears as I fired up my computer and started hammering out my response to Diane's insane plan. Dear Diane. I never in a million years thought the woman I've poured my whole heart into for so long could hurt me like this. When you dropped the news about wanting to get intimate with other people outside our marriage, it felt like you ripped my chest open. I know Monica's the one stirring this pot, but the fact you're going along with her wild scheme? That's already put a crack in what we've built together, our whole marriage. Let me lay it out crystal clear where I stand on you stepping out. If you have any kind of sexual contact with another man, or woman, for that matter, I'll see it as a straight-up betrayal, a slap in the face to the vows we made. And so we're on the same page, I'm talking about anything physical, oral, touching, anything that crosses that line, whether you're giving or getting. If you brush off how I feel and go chasing this cheating fantasy anyway, here's what's coming. Come Monday morning, I'll be filing for divorce, no hesitation. I'll pick up the phone and call our folks, all our friends, everyone we know, and tell them we're splitting up, laying out exactly why I'm pulling the plug. I'll sit Nicole and Owen down and break it to them, explaining why their mom and dad can't stay together anymore. Until the divorce is done, I'll dig up every name of every guy you mess around with, I won't stop till I've got them all. If they've got wives, I'll make sure those women know what's up. I won't feel a lick of pity for them or their families, so you better warn them they're rolling the dice on their own lives. Once the papers are filed, that's it, no second chances. We'll always be tied through the kids, but I'll cut every emotional string I've got left for you and start piecing my life back together without you in the picture. Listen, babe, you've got a big decision to make here. I've laid out what'll happen if you go through with this crazy idea of sleeping with other guys, check it above. But if you want to stick with this marriage instead, I've got some rules we're gonna have to follow. Like I said before, hearing you even think about stepping out on me cut deeper than I ever imagined anything could. Right now, I'm not even sure I can let this go or if our marriage can bounce back from it, but I'm willing to give it a shot if you'll meet me halfway with these terms. First off, you're done with Monica, cut her out completely, no calls, no texts, nothing, ever again. For now, you're moving your stuff into the guest room and sleeping there, till I say otherwise. You're gonna call your doctor and get checked for STDs pronto. I ain't touching you, till I know you're clean, and if anything comes back positive, I'm filing for divorce that same day. You'll let me put a GPS tracker in your car, and I'll be checking it every day. You answer any questions I've got about where you've been, no attitude, no fuss. We're signing up for marriage counseling, no ifs, ands, or buts. If you agree to all this, I'll do my damnedest to forgive you, but rebuilding the trust you broke, that's gonna take a while, and you'll need to hang in there with me. So, sweetheart, it's up to you now, choose smart, I'm begging you. Still yours, with all the love I've got left. William. C.C., Monica Simpson, Mr. and Mrs. Richard Parker, Mr. and Mrs. Edward Collins, Mr. Daniel Pierce, attorney at law. As I wrapped up typing, I could hear Diane and Monica jabbering away. They'd shifted from the kitchen to the living room couch. I strained to catch their words, but it was no use, and honestly, it didn't matter much anyway. I'd drawn my line in the sand, and I wasn't budging an inch. I pulled up my mail merge, typed out envelopes and copies of the letter for my folks, Diane's parents, and our lawyer. Each one got stuffed, sealed, and stamped. Then I made a couple extras for the two schemers in the next room. When I stepped out of my office, they both whipped their heads around to look at me. Be right back, I said, making for the front door. Gotta drop something in the mailbox. Mailbox? Diane called after me. Can't that hold off? We need to talk. I was already halfway out before she finished, not breaking my stride. I hiked down to the corner, mailed off all 3 letters, and hoofed it back in just a few minutes. I walked up to the two of them perched on my couch and handed each a copy of my write-up. What's this about? Diane asked, eyeing the paper like it might bite. You asked if I'd thought about what we discussed, I said, keeping my voice even. Well, there's my answer, right in your hands. I wrote it all out, nice and clear, so there's no room for mix-ups. They unfolded their pages real slow, like they were handling something fragile. I kept my eyes glued to Diane's face as she read, tears welled up fast, spilling over almost instantly. You jerk. Monica hollered, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. What kind of creep are you? Let's go, Diane, she said, grabbing my wife's hand. Shut your mouth. Diane barked, yanking her hand free. He's my husband, and I love him, nobody, especially not you, gets to trash talk him around me. Monica's jaw dropped, and the stunned look on her face was worth its weight in gold. Get out. Diane went on, her voice rising. I want you gone, out of my house, out of my life. Don't ever show your face or call me again. She shot up, grabbed Monica by the arm, and hauled her up. This is it, Monica, she said, marching her to the door. I listened to you, and now my marriage is a mess, stay the hell away from me. With that, she slammed the door right in Monica's shocked mug. She spun around to face me, tears streaming down her face like little rivers. I'm so damn sorry, William. I never wanted to hurt you like this. I'll agree to your terms, every single one, and anything else you throw my way. I swear to you, I haven't done a thing with anybody, but I'll get those STD tests done, no problem. Please, just tell me you'll forgive me someday. I know it ain't gonna happen overnight, but I love you so much. Divorce? I can't even imagine my life without you in it. I told you I'd give it a shot, Diane, I said, my voice steady but guarded. That's all I can promise right now, except this, if I catch you slipping even once, hell, if you're even in the same room as someone naked, trying to scratch that itch, it's done, no questions asked. I get it, she replied, her tone heavy with regret. It's gonna take a while to prove myself, I know that. But honest to God, I don't want anyone else, just you. Looking back, I don't think I ever really did. That night, I pitched in and helped her haul her clothes over to the spare bedroom. We kept it simple with the kids, just told them we'd had a spat and needed some space to cool off, so we'd be sleeping apart for a bit. They gave us those sideways looks, like they weren't totally buying it, but they let it slide for now. Come morning, I slipped out and picked up a GPS tracker for Diane's car without saying a word to her. While I was at it, I grabbed a little recorder for the house phones too. It was a no-fuss gadget, just plug it into a jack, and it'd catch both sides of any call, starting when the line picked up and stopping when it hung up. I set it up in my office later that day, tucking it behind the filing cabinet where nobody'd stumble across it. Sunday rolled around, and I hooked the GPS into Diane's car, then loaded the tracking app onto my laptop. I wanted to believe we could make it work, but I wasn't betting the farm on it yet. Diane's gig at the doctor's office only had her working 4 days a week, so she was off Saturday through Monday. That Monday, I kept one eye on that GPS signal from my desk at work. Around 10 a.m., she popped over to the grocery store, otherwise, the car didn't budge from the driveway. I got home that night still on edge, itching to check the phone recordings. The kids were hunched over their homework at the kitchen table, and Diane was stirring something on the stove that smelled pretty good. "Hey, hon," she said, hurrying over to kiss me. I turned my head so it landed on my cheek, and I caught the flicker of hurt in her eyes. "Can we chat later, after the kids hit the sack?" she asked under her breath. My pulse kicked up like a jackhammer. Was she backtracking already? "Sure," I said, trying to keep the nerves out of my voice. After dinner, I hung out with the kids for a bit, then made an excuse about work and ducked into my office, shutting the door tight. I plugged in some headphones to the recorder, no way was I letting anyone else hear this, and hit play. My stomach dropped when the first call started. Monica's voice crackled through. "Hey," Diane picked up on the second ring. "Yo, girl. Is he at work? Can you talk?" Monica chirped, all chipper. "Didn't I make myself clear last time?" Diane shot back. "I don't want to hear from you. You're not my friend anymore, get that straight." "Oh, come on, Diane," Monica wheedled. "Who knew William would flip out like that? I wasn't trying to wreck your marriage or anything." "I don't give a damn, Monica," Diane snapped. "William's first rule was to ditch you, and I ain't risking a thing by keeping you around. Call me again, and I'll tell everyone you tried to tank my marriage. I'm dead serious, lose my number." The line clicked off, and I let out a breath I didn't know I'd been holding. Maybe we've got a shot after all, I thought. The next call kicked in, her folks this time. "Hi," Diane answered, sounding like she was bracing for round 2 with Monica. "Diane, it's Mom. I just got this weird letter from William, what's going on?" her mom demanded. "Oh, hey, Mom," Diane said, letting out a tired sigh. "Yeah, I screwed up big time." "Screwed up? Screwed up how? Did you seriously tell William you were gonna cheat on him?" her mom pressed, voice climbing. "Well, it wasn't exactly an affair," Diane started, her voice wobbly over the phone. "You know my friend Monica? She's the one who..." Before she could finish, I heard her dad's voice boom in the background. "Who's that? Diane? Hand me that phone." "Hi, Dad," she said, and I could tell she was barely holding it together. "What's the matter with you, huh?" he roared. "Is this how your mom and I brought you up, to step out on your husband? How could you even dream up something that rotten? I'm ashamed of you, kid. We both are." I could hear Diane's sniffles as she tried to get a word in. "I'm sorry, Dad, so sorry. I know I've let you and Mom down, and God knows I've hurt William bad. I'm just so sorry." Her sobs got louder, and it must have hit her dad too, 'cause his tone softened a bit when he spoke again. "I don't get what possessed you, girl. You better have told him you're sticking to those rules he laid out, I mean it." "Yeah, Dad, I have," she said, still choking up. "Monica's out of my life, I told her I'm done, no more contact, ever. I can't get the STD tests done at work, too humiliating, so I'm gonna find a clinic out of town and take care of it there. I'm gonna be the best wife any guy could ask for, Dad. I know I'm damn lucky William's giving me another shot, and I ain't about to mess it up. They kept talking for a while, and then her mom hopped back on the line. By the end, all three of them were crying their eyes out. The call that really opened my eyes, though, was the one Diane made to my mom. "Hey, Mom," she started. "Diane. Hey, sweetie, it's great to hear your voice. How's everything going?" my mom replied, all warm and chipper. "Guess you haven't gotten William's letter yet," Diane said, her tone dropping. "Letter? No, not yet. What's up? Is something wrong? Are the kids okay? Did something happen to William?" I could hear the worry kicking in fast in my mom's voice. "No, Mom, the kids are fine, and William's okay, physically, anyway," Diane said. "But I did something real dumb, and it's shaken up our marriage. William's talking divorce over it." "Divorce?" my mom gasped. "What did you do?" "I told him I wanted to go out with other guys," Diane admitted, sounding like she was shrinking into herself. "What in the world? Why would you even say that?" my mom asked, stunned. "I don't know, Mom, it was stupid," Diane said. "My friend Monica, she's single and always hopping from guy to guy. She's got all these wild stories about hooking up, saying every fella's different, some better than others, but all unique. She kept yammering on about how I was missing out on a blast, how I should dive in and see what's out there. Said she'd set me up with as many dates as I wanted, even double date with me. She wouldn't shut up about it, and after a while, like a fool, I started buying into her crap." "Diane, you're a married woman," "She's not," my mom pointed out. "That's a whole different ballgame." "I know that now," Diane said, but then she brought in this other friend of hers, Janet, married lady. Janet swore her husband was cool with her seeing other guys whenever she felt like it. Said he loved her so much he just wanted her to enjoy herself, it was only sex, no big deal. They ganged up on me, trying to convince me William would be the same way, 'cause he loves me. Deep down, I knew he'd never go for it, but I got caught up in their nonsense. I didn't stop to think how much it'd crush him. The hurt in my mom's voice hit me like a punch. "Oh, Diane, how could you do that?" she said, breaking into sobs. "I'm so sorry, Mom, I can't say it enough," Diane replied, her voice cracking. "So what happened? Did he walk out? What about the kids?" my mom pressed. "No, he didn't leave," Diane said. "He gave me a choice, ditch Monica and any ideas about sleeping around, or we're done. We're gonna see a marriage counselor too. He sent out a letter spelling it all out, to my parents, you and Dad, and our lawyer. My folks already got theirs, but I figured yours might take another day to show up." You could hear my mom's sobs coming through the phone. "Diane, I'm at a loss for words," she said, her voice thick with tears. "I never figured you for someone who'd be so heartless. I just hope William's love for you runs as deep as I think it does. If I'd pulled a stunt like that on Bryce, he'd have kicked me to the curb faster than you can blink." "I know, Mom," Diane replied, breaking down again. "I swear I'll never put him through that kind of pain again. I came so close to losing him, and I'm gonna spend every damn day from here on out proving how sorry I am. Please, forgive me, I'm begging you." Hearing the two of them crying like that got my own eyes misty, I ain't gonna lie. Around 10 that night, after we'd tucked the kids in, Diane and I plopped down on the couch for our little heart-to-heart. I still didn't have a clue what she wanted to hash out, but I could see her eyes already glistening as she kicked things off. "I had some talks with our folks today," she said. "My mom and Dad got your letter, phew, Dad tore into me something fierce," she added with a weak laugh that didn't quite land. "Actually, after thinking it over, everybody kinda laid into me. Your parents haven't gotten the letter yet, it'll probably hit their mailbox tomorrow, so I called Em up to soften the blow a bit. Wish I'd thought to do that for my own folks first. They're all so tore up and let down by me, and why wouldn't they be? I'm ashamed of myself. I just need you to hear it again, I'm so damn sorry. She swiped at the tears rolling down her cheeks and kept going. Oh, and don't get upset, but I gotta tell you, Monica called today too. Guess she thought I was bluffing when I said we were through. I set her straight, told her if she ever dials me again, I'll make sure everyone knows she tried to wreck my marriage. She's already short on gal pals, and I reckon she won't risk losing the few she's got left, so I'm betting that's the last I'll hear from her. I already knew about the calls from the recorder, but hearing her come clean made me feel a little lighter. I grabbed her hand, flashed a small smile, and said, "Thanks for being upfront with me." The next week, Diane went and got those STD tests done. Truth be told, I never really thought she'd gone and cheated on me. If she had, Monica wouldn't have been able to resist gloating about it, she'd have spilled every detail just to twist the knife. Sure, HIV can lurk in your system for years without showing its face, but all her other results came back clean. So, after 3 months, I finally let her move back into our bedroom. At first, things between the sheets felt off, kinda clumsy, you know. But Diane didn't let up, she poured everything she had into getting us back to where we used to be. Even once we found our groove again, she'd jump at whatever I wanted, always with this fire in her. Honestly, I'd say our love life's better now than it's ever been. Those marriage counseling sessions turned out to be a big help too. Monica and her buddy Janet had really messed with Diane's head something fierce. Our therapist had her walk through every single chat she'd had with Em, over and over, picking it all apart. Even Janet's husband got in on the action. Diane said he laid it on thick, trying to sell her this line about how he let Janet fool around 'cause he loved her so much. He fed her some garbage about how a real man should shove his jealousy aside just to keep his wife smiling. I've got a sneaking suspicion he was angling to make a move on Diane himself somewhere down the road. One of these days, I might just track that guy down and have a little face-to-face to thank him for trying to sweet-talk my wife into bed. Man, the three of them really piled it on heavy. It's been more than a year since that whole disaster went down, and I haven't had a single reason to doubt her since. Still, every now and then, I'll peek at the GPS to see where she's been. I'll even give her phone calls a quick listen from time to time. Once that little seed of mistrust gets planted, it's tough to shake it loose completely. Next month, we're throwing a big bash for her folks' 50th anniversary. Thinking back on everything we've been through and where we're at now, I'm feeling pretty good about our odds. In 31 years and 3 months, I'd bet we'll be the ones cutting the cake for our own golden milestone. So, that's the wrap-up on this wild ride of a tale. If you liked hearing it, do me a solid and give it a nod, maybe tell me what you think down below. It helps spread the word and keeps me going. If you're just tuning in and haven't stuck around yet, hit that follow button, it means a lot and keeps me spinning more yarns like this one. Appreciate you hanging out with me, and I'll catch you next time.